Good morning, everybody. I'm just reading your messages, and I can see that there's a few of the ladies have joined me here who were with me yesterday with the workshop, and I'm pleased to see that Ethel, that you've recovered only just, eh? Only just. And with that in mind, because I felt a bit guilty, I got my lovely group of workshoppers to do lots of cutting and measuring yesterday. And I thought, I've given you far too much for that. So I'm going to go with easiness today. Yes, easiness. So good morning to everybody. Morning, Vel. Morning, Shirley Gilbert and Shirley Green. Ethel, Sue, June, Teresa, Sandra, Barbara, Jill, Sarah, Catherine from over the waters. Lovely to see you all here. Jill and Anne, glad you got back from Scotland safe and sound, Anne, and Mary. Lovely, 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 lovely. So what I'm going to do is this is a prototype, okay? This is sort of along the lines that we're going for, but I thought I'd change the different colours because I was just having a bit of a play with this one today. So this background die is called Renmore, and it is a die that was brought out by John and one, I think, of his first ever collections. And I'm mixing it with the old and new, as always. So this is the Renmore die. Lots of different ways you can use it, but I'm going to do a bit of cutting in with this one so that you can extend the pattern. So that's that little one. I'm also going to be using one of the new sentiment dies from Sue Wilson, which is Sending Lots of Happiness, and mixing it in with, as you can possibly see from that, the DL nesting dies from Presscuts is what I meant to say. So you have got the stitched ones and the plain ones. Excuse me. So a bit of a mix and match, and I have already done a little bit of pre-cutting with it. So let me just bring this in to show you. I have already taken my DL card, which is this one, card blank, and I've taken one of the stitch dot, perhaps you can see that, not sure, can you see that? Stitch dot design. I'm just bringing in that one because I think that looks rather yummy, and I'm using some of the greens. Oh, I just got dusty. I'm using some of the greens. I'm using the moss green and the avocado green because I think they go together very well. So I've cut out the plain one with this, but I'm going to make a bit of a frame like I did with the other one. So I'm going to first of all take this one, which is the avocado green, and I'm going to take my dies from the Renmore set. So this has no outer cutting edge and no inner cutting edge, but lots of detail. So it's very, very pretty. And I'm going to pop that more or less into the center. Well, centering it, but not right in the center like that, I mean, because I want to get two of them in there. So I'm going to go from more or less to one side, trying to give myself a fairly even border all the way round. Okay, so I'm just going to tape that onto there and run that through my machine. Okay, I thought the greens would look quite nice today. So we've got a combination. Oops. Sorry about the noise. I've got a combination of greens going on today. I thought that would make a bit different. But the card I showed you just now is yellow and dark grey. So that was just a different way of looking at things. So let's see how this cuts. You can see that gives a really pretty lattice effect here, but with our bit in the middle. Now, so clear this out and pop that onto there, and then I'm going to just slot the die back into place, scoop these bits off, to extend the die within my shape here. Okay, so oops, don't get these extra bits out there because we don't want them. So because I'm going to cover up the middle of the die with another part of the die section, It's not going to worry me if I'm over cutting it, but what I am going to do is just make sure that this end slots back into these little lattice parts here. So probably roughly there, I think I'll find. So I'm going to turn that over and I can just find where that slots in. It kind of clicks. So I just want you to click, 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 click. There. Click into there. I think that's about right. And that looks about right there as well. So I'm just going to get my tape again and then just tape that into position, making sure that's nice and straight. And just run that through my machine again carefully so that it doesn't move. Hoping it doesn't move anyway. So just run that through again. And then this will give us the sort of pattern that I'm aiming for on this one, so that you've got that gap here. Okay. It takes ages to go through the machine. Okay, so then when I take that off, you've got, oh, don't want bits onto there. You've got, yes, a gap, but you've got that just about meeting over there, but no extra cutting, no cutting the holes, and it's because it just slots all back into place. Okay, so that little bit there we are going to hide. So let us hide that. I'm going to use the same green that I've got here, and I'm going to take the inner piece of my die set, and I'm going to take a scrap of my card. Whoops. And I'm just going to tape that onto there, and that's the same size. It is meant to fit just inside here, but it looks really good just sitting on there as a sort of an extra. So we'll just run that through. Flashbang wallop. So just run that through so that we've got the bit on the front. You can see you've got lovely stitch detail on here as well, and that is going to go over the centre there so that you're not going to see that little separate bit there, but just fits all in the same way. So we've got that bit done. Now let's just make a frame for ourselves. And as I said, I've already cut out this one in moss green. So I've cut it out with the DL stitch dot one, but I'm going to take a plain one just to make the frame up. Now I'm going to have to make that up with this one in mind behind. So if I was to put that die over the top of there, it seems to fit in quite well. Let's just see if I want a second one just slightly smaller. So that's the next one down. I think I'm going to be tempted with that one actually. So I'm going to place that into the centre of my green part here, and if I possibly can get that marked in and run that through, and that's going to give me my nice frame to work with. Run that one through. So no measuring. All the people that were having palpitations over the thought that I might be asking you to measure something again today, all is well. You don't have to measure anything because it's all done for you with the dies. which we all say, jolly good job, eh? Jolly good job. I'm just popping that back on my magnetic board so that we can see that we are bringing in my card. And you can then see that if I pop that over the top, you've got that lovely frame over there. I'm going to put some foam on, of course, bringing that in there. Now, I am tempted, what do you think, of popping that piece or a similar piece behind it? Have to be another big piece, because I thought that dark colour looked quite nice like that. What do you reckon? I think it does. I think we're going to go for that. But are we possibly going to go for my other colour? Other colour green. You know what I'm like about thinking. I think that the white, what do you think? I think that the white behind is not right, is it? What do you think? I'm not quite sure. I'm thinking that darker colour. So I'm going to cut out a second frame, which is just inside that one. Just do that. Just cut that through. Just want a darker colour through, I thought, as you do. So just pop that through. I think that will look better, and then we will frame it all up. So we have that slightly darker colour here behind. That's better, like that. So now let's raise this one all up then so that we can see what we're doing and pop that all together. So I'm going to pop this one straight onto my card base. I've made it a little bit bigger than that aperture because I wanted a bit of wriggle room there. So I'm just going to pop that into the centre and we can build up on that. And then I'm going to put some foam onto the back of this one. So just along there and there, and then on these side bits. And this is going to be able to pick up my Renmore frame that I've just done as well. I might even put a second layer on as well. It's because it's Sunday and I can do what I like today, sort of. I'm going out for lunch, can you believe it? So I'm waiting for my lovely family to arrive. Oops. And yeah, we're going out for lunch and it's such a lovely day here. I hope it is with you. Makes all the difference, doesn't it? When it's a lovely day. So I'm going to hover that over the top and hope that I get that more or less in the right place. And then, having done that, I'm just going to go back over the top of this one so that we've got that frame again over the card base. So I know it's lots of foam, but hey ho, we are worth foam, aren't we? I'm also going to pop a bit of foam on the back of these pieces so that these pieces will sit up as well. Otherwise they will sink in the middle and we don't want that, do we? Don't want that bit either. So take all the backing off. And I've already pre-cut some of the John Next Door small flowers and small leaves. We use those so often, or I use those so often as when we want some little flowers. But you may well have noticed that there are some new flowers coming out this evening. 6 o'clock. on Create and Craft. Couldn't think what it was called just for a second. A new range for March. Whoops, coming out, so they will be fab as well. Let's turn that over, bring my card base back in again, and covering that if I can over the top like that. So then I have got my little bit for the sentiment, so I'm going to pop a bit of foam onto that as well, just so that it sits up nicely. And onto that I'm going to place my sentiment. Meant to apologise for mucky hands, ink hands, because I put my finger into the ink pad earlier, as you do. So that's going to go into the centre. Now I've already cut out from another colour card from Olive my centrepiece there. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Pop this on with the glue glaze. So I've actually cut it out 3 times and layered it one on top of another to give that extra dimension, which will look, I thought, quite nice. Just wiping over my glue glaze, which is the fast setting one. So I've got to work quite fast on it because I don't want loads put on there. But hopefully enough for it to stay. It does dry clear, you'll be pleased to hear. So pop that in the centre like that, and then I again have already cut out myself some of the small leaves, as I said, and some flowers, and this is cut out in the olive green as well. So I'm just mixing the greens, which I think look quite nice. So I'm going to pop a little bit, whoops, a little bit of glue onto here and just put my little display onto here. I'm going to put them on first, whoops, and then just build my flowers amongst it. So I'm just putting that on one side. Now the flowers that I've got, I've cut them out in 2 different ways. So I've cut them out in yellow and I've cut them out in mauve, and I thought that they would be kind of a mix match. So let me go for slightly bigger of the flowers. So I'll go for the slightly bigger in the mauve, and then in the yellow we'll go for slightly smaller ones that will go in there like that. So pop a little bit of this glue into there, into the centres. Oops, caught that on my finger. Don't want to do that. That one is in the centre of there, so we can just turn that and press down very slightly. 1 to get it to stick, and 2 to get it to have a little bit of a dimension. Offset that into there. Colours might be a bit, well, a sort of garish, but I just thought pansy colour for these. I just thought they were pretty lovely. Might go for some of the little ones as well. We'll see. So I'm going to pop a little bit onto here. Oops. Just press that down into there. That one. And then this little one here. So they're all a little bit different. I'm not so sure that I do want to start adding any extras, to be honest with you. I think that might be a little bit much. Let me just see. Just thinking aloud. Ooh, bing. I don't know where my moulding mat's gone. Not to worry. I'm just wondering whether to pop a little one down there. Maybe not. I'm just playing on my own. I mean, talk to yourselves. Oh dear, shouldn't really say that, should I? I just have to go. Fun. Fun at the zoo. Just looking at all the different flowers. I don't know which one to go for. That's a pretty one. We could go for that one. Let's go for that one. Let's see what that looks like. Bit of glue there. And I might not use this. I just want to see what it looks like. I'm not quite sure. I might get carried away here now. I think I'm going to put it on the other side now. I promise this will be the last bit that I'll play with. I promise. I'm going to put that on the other side. Right, so I just get carried away with my little flowers, as you know. So just pop that into there. Yeah, we'll go with that. You can go with anything. You could even go with the new flowers that might be coming later on today. Indeed, you might. Now, just want to put a little pearl in the centre of those, I think, don't you? So I shall pop my little bit of glue glaze in the centre for this. And then just add my little pearls. Just stay stuck onto there. Oh, the concentration today. Oops, come here. You're attached to another bit of glue, aren't you? Talking to flipping gems now. I tell you, I usually talk to the paper as I'm working with it. Now I've started talking to the gems. I don't know. Right, I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to do any more. It's a completely different colourway. Apart from the flowers, they are the same colourway. Let's just put all these extras away. But I just think it looks really different to the other one. I like the greens. I like the different versions of the greens. Let me bring in the other card, which has disappeared over here. So the same card, or very, very similar actually, but this one is more with contemporary colours of the yellow and the dark grey, and I've used a sentiment there, an old sentiment of, again, one of John's ones there, or this one, which is more of the greens and the sort of pansy type colours, or that's how I felt it anyway. The tool that I was using, if we're talking about that one, is the Woodware one, the Woodware easy pickup tool that I had, or still have, but I introduced that a couple of weeks ago. Okay. These aren't the new flowers. No, these are the small flowers and small leaves. The new flowers are the Cosmos, or Cosmo, as they're called, but I think they're called Cosmos. What else are you saying? Yeah, maybe I should have had some that side as well. I think you're right, Jeanette. I think I might get a bit carried away with this a little bit later, but there you go. So let me tell you what the plans are. We have got Wednesday this coming week at 11 o'clock, which is the 23rd at 11 o'clock, I will be using some of the new products that come out later on today. So I'll be having a play with those. And I will be back on next Sunday, which I do realise is Mother's Day. But I think it's also changing the clock's day. Well, the day before would have been. So we might have a little theme on that sort of thing. But that's next weekend. I will, anything that you saw here today that you haven't got, that you need in your life, you might find on the Facebook Live section of the MaximumCrafts.com website. And yeah, look out for all the new things. So I hope you've enjoyed what I've been playing with today. Thank you so much for joining me. I do appreciate giving up your time to join me, and hope you have a lovely day and look forward to seeing you all again. Okay, take care to everyone. Thanks very much. Bye.